My name is Ava Hart. I'm 29 years old, and this is how I took revenge on my best friend for stealing the idea. That defined my life. The night was electric. Flashbulbs fired like fireworks. Laughter spilled from champagne glasses. And there she was, Zoe Monroe, standing center stage, dripping in silver and fake gratitude. She was accepting the Innovator of the Year award for *Pulselink*, the wearable tech brand everyone was buzzing about. But I knew the truth. I had built Pulselink from the ground up. In notebooks, in voice memos, in sleepless nights hunched over wireframes while Zoe cheered me on with empty words and secret plans. I stood at the back of the room, hidden in shadow, hands clenched around the stem of a glass I hadn't sipped from. I watched her soak in applause for a vision she had ripped from my hands and made hers. The betrayal still throbbed like a fresh bruise. Our friendship, decades deep, reduced to stolen code and buried NDAs. Zoe raised the crystal trophy above her head, flashing that signature smug smile, the one that used to make me laugh, and now made my stomach turn. She didn't notice me. She didn't know I was there. And she definitely didn't know what she just signed. As the lights flared and cameras turned to capture her moment, I whispered under my breath, steady and certain, "You should have read the fine print." Cut to black. Ava grew up in a quiet Missouri town where most people were content with routine. But she never was. Even as a kid, she'd take apart kitchen appliances just to see how they worked, scribbling designs in the margins of her school notebooks. What fascinated her most wasn't just invention, but purpose. How technology could actually reduce waste and improve lives. Sustainability wasn't a buzzword to Ava. It was a calling. She met Zoe Spencer in 6th grade, the kind of girl who could charm anyone with a joke and a smile. Zoe was bold where Ava was cautious, loud where Ava was thoughtful. But somehow, they clicked. They grew up attached at the hip, trading secrets, sketchbooks, and one too many dreams. They even picked the same college, a mid-sized state school with a solid entrepreneurship program. They told everyone they were going to start a company together someday. But college made their differences more obvious. Ava stayed focused, double majoring in product design and environmental science, often skipping parties to meet grant deadlines or finish her capstone project. Zoe, meanwhile, flitted through majors, dated carelessly, and leaned heavily on charm when discipline failed her. Still, Ava kept her close. Loyalty was baked into her bones. After graduation, Ava didn't have funding, flashy connections, or a fancy incubator. So she bootstrapped. She waited tables by night and worked at a small design firm by day, spending weekends building her dream in a cramped studio apartment that doubled as her lab. The vision: a sleek, refillable line of personal care containers, toothbrushes, lotion pumps, makeup pods that connected to a mobile app to track usage and minimize waste. It was sustainability made beautiful. It was everything she stood for. She called the company Green Glass. By year 2, she had a prototype, a pitch deck, and to angel investors circling. That's when Zoe came back into the picture, couch surfing. After another breakup, looking for purpose, she told Ava she was finally serious. She wanted to help. And Ava, exhausted, lonely, and still believing in their childhood promise, said yes. She brought Zoe in as a co-founder, gave her access to the IP folder, let her sit in on pitch meetings, showed her the software framework, the supplier list, even the draft trademark filings. They shared a Dropbox folder, a business credit card, and late-night ramen over startup spreadsheets. Ava thought she was gaining a partner. But trust, as she'd learn, has a price. And Zoe was about to collect. 2 months before they were set to pitch at a major startup accelerator, the opportunity they'd been building toward for nearly a year. Ava came home to find her apartment eerily quiet. Her desk, usually cluttered with prototypes and paper scraps, sat stripped bare. The hard drive she backed up every night, gone. The notebook she kept by her side with sketches, timelines, and lists of investor meetings, missing. Even her shared folder on the cloud had been wiped, permissions revoked. Her first thought was that it had to be a mistake. Maybe Zoe had taken the hard drive to prep for a meeting. Maybe something had crashed. But Zoe wasn't answering her calls or her texts. And then Ava opened Instagram. Zoe's face, filtered, polished, triumphant, stared back at her from a photo tagged at a private demo event in San Francisco. The caption read, "Can't believe Zova is finally real. Changing the world one bottle at a time. #female CEO #green beauty Zova." The font was the same one Ava had handpicked. The product design was identical to her prototype, down to the curved glass pump she'd fought so hard to make both sustainable and chic. The app interface on the screen behind Zoe was Ava's. Even the mission statement sounded ripped straight from their pitch deck. Ava stared at the post for a full minute, her hands trembling. She opened LinkedIn. There it was again. Zoe Spencer, founder and CEO of Zova. Press mentions. A glowing write-up from a mid-tier tech blog. The startup accelerator. Accepted. Zoe had pitched without her. Claimed it all as her own. The betrayal landed like a gut punch. Not just the theft, though that was devastating, but the sheer audacity. The way Zoe smiled through it, as if she hadn't stolen Ava's life's work, her dream, her future. As if she deserved it. Ava confronted her the next day. She caught her outside a WeWork space downtown, sleek in designer athleisure, sipping a green juice like nothing had happened. Ava didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just asked why. Zoe barely flinched. "You were never built for the spotlight," she said, cool as glass. "You do the work. I do the win. That's always been the deal. You just didn't see it." Ava stood there, heart pounding, every cell in her body screaming. And then something shifted. She didn't scream. She didn't beg. She just walked away, shaking. Yes, shattered, maybe, but not broken. Because in that moment, Ava realized something. Zoe may have stolen her idea, but she had no idea what she'd just started. Ava spiraled. After Zoe's betrayal, everything crumbled: her bank account, her motivation, her belief in people. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and worst of all, she couldn't create. For someone who had always built things to stay grounded, that loss felt like losing herself. She moved back in with her parents, into the childhood bedroom she hadn't seen in years. Her mom tried to be comforting but clung to cliches. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Her dad, ever practical, suggested she go back to grad school. Something safe. Even her old college mentor, someone she once admired, said gently, "Chalk it up as a learning experience." It all felt like code for let it go. She won. You lost. For a while, Ava believed it. She applied for jobs she didn't care about. She sat on the couch in sweatpants watching Zoe appear in 30 Under 30 articles, faking humility about how she just followed her gut and built something beautiful. Then, like a glitch in the Matrix, a direct message popped up on LinkedIn. It was from a junior attorney named Leo Nguyen. They'd met once, briefly, At a campus networking event when Zoe had dragged Ava to a party full of people pretending to be founders. I just saw a Zova product demo, Leo wrote. And I swear I've seen this design before on your old Behance page. Is that yours? Ava's hands froze. She hadn't thought about that old page in months. Leo followed up. Look, if you can prove IP theft, there's a case. Or you can bury her the smarter way. The smarter way. That sentence woke something up in Ava. She didn't want just revenge. She wanted surgical revenge. The kind that didn't make a sound until the damage was irreversible. She pulled out her old files. Designs with time stamps. Emails from Zoe asking for her help on Apui. Shared documents. Dropbox folders. Early sketches from napkins she'd photographed for backup. She spent the next 6 weeks creating a bulletproof digital archive. Then she built a sleek, elegant startup called Floriform Inc. She bought the domain, had a logo designed, and hired a freelance team to put together a website, pitch deck, and mission page. It looked real enough to win a TED Talk. Floriform promised next-gen sustainability. Meets AI-driven personalization, a direct overlap with Zova's market. The fake concept was carefully constructed to hit Zoe's insecurities. Cooler branding, cleaner UX, buzzier investors. Ava then sent the fake pitch deck to a known Zova investor contact, one who had once ghosted her after meeting with Zoe. This time, he bit. The deck accidentally made its way to Zoe just as Ava predicted. Zoe came knocking. The email came in late on a Tuesday night. K Floriform team. Love what you're doing. Let's talk synergy. Our investors are eager to see how a strategic acquisition might benefit both our missions. Ava almost laughed. Zoe thought she was winning again. A fake negotiations team responded, stalling, charming, raising the price. After a few rounds, they sent over the buyout contract, preloaded with Ava's trap. Buried in the legalese were clauses that would never raise a red flag to a greedy founder in a rush. IP reassignments to the original conceptual architect of the acquired assets. A list of product overlaps that exactly matched Greenglass's original roadmap. Terms that Zoe skimmed over because she was too eager to dominate the competition. Zoe signed. Just like that, Ava owned Greenglass again. By law, in writing, and with digital proof of the very betrayal that made Zoe famous. And Zoe had no idea. Not yet. At a high-profile press event in New York, hundreds gathered to witness Zova's international expansion announcement. The venue gleams with chrome and LED light, every detail curated for spectacle. Journalists, influencers, venture capitalists, they're all there, waiting for the queen of green tech to make her grand entrance. Zoe steps onto the stage in a sleek ivory power suit, her usual confidence radiating through the spotlight. Behind her, the massive screens flash the Zova logo in animated bursts. She paces slowly, soaking in the adoration. We're not just redefining sustainability, she says, beaming. We're reshaping the global conversation. Then, with a perfectly timed pause, she drops the headline. And today, I'm thrilled to announce our latest partnership with Floriform. The audience murmurs. Cameras rise. Whispers flutter through the crowd. Zoe smiles wider, triumphant. And for the first time in months, she says Ava's name. Many of you know Ava Hart from our early days. Well, we've come full circle. I'm proud to say, we're building the future together. The crowd claps, lightly, unsure. Suddenly, the screens behind her glitch. Once, then again. Then, everything goes black. a few beats of static. Then, a new document appears, blown up in full on the massive display, a digital scan of a signed acquisition agreement. Gasps ripple across the room as key sections auto-highlight in real time. Assignation of all intellectual property, branding, and original conceptual rights to Ava Hart, hereafter referred to as the sole and rightful founder of the Green Glass Initiative, now known as Zova. Zo's smile falters. Her words catch in her throat. She spins toward the screen, blinking in disbelief. Then the stage doors open. Ava walks out, slow and steady, wearing an all-black tailored suit with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly what they're doing. She reaches the podium and takes the mic from Zoe's trembling hand. "Thank you for the kind introduction," Ava says, voice smooth, eyes locked on the crowd. "But I need to clarify one thing." She turns slightly toward the cameras, the screens behind her now glowing with the Floriform logo. She built her empire with my ideas. And now, every dollar it earns is mine. The room erupts. Reporters yell questions. Photographers swarm. Gasps and murmurs overlap in a frenzy of disbelief. Zoe takes a shaky step back, then another, until she turns, face red, and storms off stage, heels clicking like gunshots. Ava watches her go, calm, unshaken. For the first time since the betrayal, the spotlight is exactly where it belongs. Zoe tries to fight back. Within days of the press conference debacle, her legal team files a suit claiming deception, coercion, anything to claw back control. But the contract is airtight. And worse, it's her own signature beneath every clause she never bothered to read. The evidence is indisputable. Ava's documentation, timestamps, original prototypes, and email trails confirm what the world now knows. Zoe didn't build Zova. She hijacked it. Investors pull out. The board calls an emergency meeting. Zoe is quietly removed, her name erased from the website. Her public statement reads like damage control, vague, evasive. But the headlines are loud and clear. Zova ousted founder in major tech scandal. Ava Hart reclaims legacy. But Ava doesn't gloat. There's no Instagram victory post. No bottle of champagne on a yacht. She goes home. Back to her small apartment with the squeaky floorboard. Back to the cluttered sketchbooks and late-night coding. She rebrands, not with noise but with purpose. Green Glass returns, sleeker, sharper, and more personal. Ava turns down 5 acquisition offers in the first 3 weeks. She's no longer chasing validation. She's choosing vision. She builds a team of 10. Mostly women, mostly overlooked. Talent like she once was. They work in a renovated warehouse lit with natural light and murals painted by local artists. No fake hustle culture, no flashy nonsense. Just brilliance supported. The app she always dreamed of finally launches. A refilled tracking system with smart alerts, personalized sustainability goals, and community challenges. Users love it. Press features it. But Ava doesn't chase the spotlight. This time, the work speaks first. One night, she walks through her office alone. It's quiet, peaceful. On a corkboard near the break room, someone's pinned a quote. She remembered who she was. And the game changed. Ava stares at it for a moment. This is what healing looks like. Not revenge. Not applause, just finally being seen. Ava walks slowly through the Green Glass office, her heels softly tapping the polished concrete floor. Morning sun filters through the tall glass walls, casting golden light across the white boards filled with sketches and sticky notes. Her team is still arriving. Voices echo in the distance. Laughter. The start of a normal day. She pauses at a display shelf near the front, picking up the very first green glass bottle she ever made, slightly uneven, scratched from years of being moved from apartment to apartment, but still intact, still hers. She turns it over in her hands, smiling faintly. Zoe taught me that betrayal doesn't always come from enemies, she says softly, almost to herself. Sometimes it comes from the people who clap the loudest, right before they steal your spotlight. She sets the bottle down gently. A pause. But she also taught me this, she adds, straighter now, firmer. If you're the one who built it, they can't steal your worth. They can only delay your rise. Outside, a green glass delivery van pulls away from the curb, the company's sleek green and white logo gleaming under the sun. Ava watches it disappear round the corner, hands tucked in the pockets of her blazer. And next time someone asks where I got the idea, she says, turning with a small, knowing smile, I'll say, from heartbreak. And it paid off. Fade out.